good to have you on Infinite Imaginarium.
Great, yeah, thanks for having me. I love the Imaginarium. Best. It's true grassroots minds. It's true grassroots minds. It's true grassroots minds. That's for sure.
The way hackers and other computer enthusiasts and ravers and old school punkers and bloggers and Burning Man attendees will work and play and put in their time and money and do something not because there's potential for profits or rewards or honors, but out of sheer enthusiasm, indicates that there's something about human beings that goes unrecognized in both capitalist and socialist societies. The amount of autonomy, a certain permission to put in some creativity into their work, a certain shared sense of community. People would do all kinds of stuff simply because it's engaging to do so and can be shared and should be shared. It may indicate a future beyond robotics. Developments in nanotechnology and so forth eliminate most forms of tedious labor. You're traveling into another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of ideas. You unlock this door with a key of imagination, a journey into a wondrous digital landscape whose boundaries are that of the imagination itself. Bill, it's good to have you on Infinite Imaginarium, and we've had a huge update. And I guess maybe just tell everybody a little bit about the update and everything's going on with Minds right now.
Great, yeah, thanks for having me. I love the Imaginarium. It's the best. It's true grassroots minds, that's for sure. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad you guys are liking it. We've been working on it for 6 months. We completely rewrote the mobile apps with native code, so they're so much faster and have better features. And we did a whole crypto integration and replaced the whole boost system and wire system with an Ethereum infrastructure. And we got out of Stripe and points, but I think that obviously points were a great learning experience, and we transferred points to tokens. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We did a total UX overhaul and changed up the way the navigation works, so it's much easier to filter through content and find videos. And we updated all the trending algorithms so that actually the top contributors are much more clearly visible, which is huge. And yeah, I mean, I'm curious what sticks out to you all.
Actually, right now, when you're talking about it, it's interesting to see kind of the evolution of points, because I've been around since Legacy Minds, though, when we were talking about how the new site looks. And when Nikki was talking about it, in my mind, I was like, I was gonna make a joke. Oh, I miss the Legacy Minds. Remember when you first updated and then you could use the Legacy Minds for I think it was a month or whatever.
Right. Yeah. No. We talked about potentially doing that with this update, but we actually couldn't because there were so many changes in the back end that they were completely different. We couldn't have two versions coexisting.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny because I think this update took the fastest for me to get used to it. Every time something changes, you're like, this is different. But then later when it took me within the hour, I'm like, oh, I like it better. But I remember the first transition, I was like, I kind of want to use Legacy Minds. But this one, it was after I was done posting stuff,
I know.
I'm done.
There's always that resistance to dramatic visual change. And I think that, you get used to something and it's just comfortable. But we were really careful to only make changes that just made it so much easier to navigate and made it much more intuitive. So I think that, visual things, probably the peak thing in visual demand is more of a dark mode. I think that is really just some people like more dark navigation, some people like it light, which we want to do at some point. But, other than that, I don't think you can really argue with how much easier it is to filter channels, videos, images, blogs, groups, news feed. It's just like way easier.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess there's like one thing, maybe hopefully you could clarify it a little bit. How the points or the token is valued. I noticed that equation you did. So it's the overall total of traffic on mines at that given time? Or?
Yeah, so first of all, right now we're on the Ethereum Rinkeby testnet. We're not actually on the main network, so these aren't like quote unquote real Ethereum or ERC20 tokens yet. But the way that the rewards work now, it's more of a contribution economy. So based on your relative contribution to the whole network that day, in terms of votes you receive, comments you receive, shares. If you go to your wallet and then click on contributions, you can see sort of the score chart. So you receive a score for votes, comments, subscribers that you receive, reminds, referrals will be coming soon, traffic will be coming soon. You receive some for checking in hourly. We're going to be continually adding more rewards. But then based on that score, that's divided by the total score of the whole network. And then we have a daily reward pool of tokens that we're allocating. And so you get that percentage of the daily reward pool of tokens. We've been really careful to try to make sure that I think the rewards have dramatically gone up in terms of the number of views that people are getting. I think I'm actually curious how it's been going for you all.
Yeah, I noticed that like in when I was using it, like testing it out, and then that's what I was wondering about, like the activity on the whole site, because I got rewarded a lot like in that burst. But then, like, I remember, like, later I was using it too, almost the same frequency, but at a different time that the reward seemed to be lower. Like, I was just thinking about, like, the activity on the site and how it's evaluated and all that kind of stuff like that. Just what I noticed, just kind of, like, was looking at the...
Yeah, I mean, we had to evolve the rewards to be more based on engagement that you receive as opposed to actions that you complete, because actions that you complete, like posting and stuff like that, is so gameable, and there were a lot of people really abusing the system and it wasn't fair to everybody else. So, but we still did leave in some, activity stuff like, checking in. You still get credit for, which I think is important to a lot of people. And so now it's more about designing the economy and understanding, the right number of tokens to be releasing each day, what the, total token supply is going to be. These are like the token economics that we're still working on, that we're hopefully going to be releasing like really soon. Right now, we're just experimenting and trying different daily reward pools. But I think that most people who are really active and boosting a lot, as long as you're boosting a lot, you're going to be getting good rewards, because when you boost, you get more interaction on your stuff, and then you get more rewards that day. So it's really important to be boosting more. And then the other thing I should explain is this whole distinction between on-chain and off-chain token. So the deal with Ethereum is that it's a blockchain. And so that's a decentralized computing system. And if you want, when you boost, if you want to boost it on chain, then information about that boost is going to be published to the blockchain. And then additionally, if you wire another user on chain, then that is going to also be published to the blockchain, so that the creator and the supporter have an autonomous relationship with each other outside of mines. It's actually, this whole payment infrastructure is not, on our servers. It's on a global decentralized infrastructure. And so there's so many reasons why that's a really positive thing. And, it gives tokens applications inside and outside of mine.
So is that the off-chain bit that you're referring to there, Bill? You know, when people do a peer-to-peer arrangement, but it's nothing, the transaction has not taken place actually within the Minds platform, is something outside of that, but they've met on Minds and then they have some kind of interaction. Or have I got that totally wrong? Because I'm not very good up on all this stuff, to be honest.
Well, the reason we left in off-chain is off-chain is essentially the same. It works the same as points. So we're still keeping track of the whole synchronized token supply in the system. But off-chain just means that you don't have to install MetaMask. You don't have to set up your Ethereum wallet, and you can just handle everything in your Minds wallet. But just because, cryptocurrency is pretty, it can be complicated. Definitely, there's a little bit of a learning curve, and some people are interested and willing to go there, and other people aren't. We wanted both worlds to be able to interact with it. So if you can still do things off chain, but we are trying to encourage people to go on chain. It's really not that much harder. Once you're set up, it's only like one extra click of a button.